Go ahead.
I can say a little bit. Affirmative action, Asian Americans, our community, has sort of been used as a pawn in these lawsuits, a lot of these conversations. We also believe that if you look at the statistics, from this last admissions year, we do not want to be used and put one community against another. It is unfair, it is cruel. And if you look at the statistics from a lot of the schools in the past year, the end of affirmative action didn't necessarily increase the number of Asian Americans enrolled or accepted into these schools. Also, some argue it may be or should be part of a larger conversation. It's not just about affirmative action. If you want to look about equity and admissions, it should be about donor preferences, relationships, and legacy.
I'm going to add that I'm on the Education Committee, Education and Workforce Committee. The administration in its most recent firings has completely gutted the Office of Civil Rights, whose job it is to make sure that there is non-discrimination of any kind, including religious discrimination. So anti-Semitism, for example, cannot be fully investigated on a college campus or anywhere else when you gut the Office of Civil Rights. The EEOC has been rendered without a quorum. I have called upon the current executive director and the current acting chair to resign because they have completely dismissed or refused to pursue cases of egregious sexual harassment, egregious discrimination against people who are trans by their employers. This is not good for anybody, regardless of whether your grievance is based on race, whether it's based on religious discrimination, whether it's based on sex discrimination, whether you're being harassed in the workplace. What has happened at the EEOC, based on this very extreme application of this extreme theory that DEI represents a violation of civil rights law, this is Orwellian. It's Orwellian that this is the premise on which diversity, equity, and inclusion is being completely rooted out of the federal mission.
How does that put your communities at risk in particular in these attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Well, it subjects any one of, for instance, an anti-Asian or an Asian hate case or some name calling or some physical attack at a university that receives federal funding. That person will have no recourse if the Office of Civil Rights is done away with. So it hurts everybody, and it hurts we know in the past couple of years what has happened to people just walking down the street. We can assume that this animus will work its way into the public education system, the education system. We need a federal government that assures every citizen that they will be protected under the law. Equal protection under law is a principle that is being assaulted and twisted and perverted by this administration.